On January 6, 2007, Channon Christian and Christopher Newsom were abducted in Knoxville, Tennessee. They were not just killed, they were tortured, violated, and brutalized in ways that are nearly incomprehensible. This is the true, unfiltered story of their deaths, a tale of unspeakable cruelty. It began as an ordinary evening for Channon and Christopher, a young couple simply out on a date. But as they were getting into their car, they were ambushed by 5 predators: Lamarcus Davidson, Latalvis Cobbins, George Thomas, Vanessa Coleman, and Eric Boyd. These monsters carjacked the couple at gunpoint and dragged them to a rundown house on Chipman Street where they would endure the darkest hours of their lives. Once inside that house of horrors, Christopher was separated from Channon. What followed for him was hours of unimaginable suffering. His captors brutally beat him, raped him with a foreign object, and shot him 3 times, once in the neck, once in the back, and then in the head. His body wasn't just discarded, it was desecrated. They set him on fire, leaving his charred remains near railroad tracks like trash. But that was only the beginning. Channon's nightmare continued. For the next 2 days, she was subjected to rape after rape by multiple attackers. She was orally, vaginally, and anally assaulted, forced to endure the worst forms of human degradation. Beaten and brutalized, Channon's body was covered in injuries, but her ordeal was far from over. In one final act of depravity, they poured bleach down her throat and on her body in a vile attempt to erase any traces of their crimes. But they didn't just want to hide what they did, they wanted her to suffer. Channon was still alive when they wrapped her face in plastic bags, suffocating her slowly, leaving her to die in agony. Her body was found stuffed in a trash can, discarded like nothing. The sheer level of sadistic torture inflicted on Channon and Christopher is enough to turn your stomach. This wasn't just murder. This was the complete destruction of 2 innocent lives for sport, for sadistic pleasure. Lamarcus Davidson, the ringleader and a career criminal, was the driving force behind this unspeakable crime. His brother, Latalvis Cobbins, along with their accomplices, George Thomas, Vanessa Coleman, and Eric Boyd, joined in on this violent spree without an ounce of humanity between them. During the trial, Coleman, a woman who partook in Channon's torture, had the audacity to describe the weekend as fun. The trials were almost as painful as the crime itself, forcing the families of Channon and Christopher to hear every nightmarish detail of what their loved ones endured. For the victims' families, there was no justice that could ever heal their wounds. Davidson received the death penalty. Cobbins, Thomas, and Boyd were sentenced to life in prison. Vanessa Coleman, who claimed she was just an unwilling participant, was also convicted, but shockingly received only a 35-year sentence. Their names should be remembered, but so should the truth of what happened. We need to confront this nightmare, how 5 people living in a community like ours could commit such sadistic, animalistic acts. It raises questions about the evil that exists within some people and how far human cruelty can truly go. We must never forget that Channon and Christopher were more than just victims of a horrific crime. They were 2 young people who had their entire futures stolen from them, futures filled with love, laughter, and potential. And their deaths are a painful reminder of how fragile life truly is in the face of unthinkable violence. If this story disturbed you, share it. The truth needs to be heard. Remember their names. Remember what they suffered. Don't forget to subscribe my channel for more videos like this and share this to spread awareness about cases like these. Thank you.